cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Access to my account to be able to control it. That would be very, very difficult for someone on the move. Yes, that is one thing that has been discussed, Momo. Being able to change the camera angle by a command, but it would change it for everybody, not just one person. So everybody would have to kind of play nice on that. Well, I mean, we all get along pretty well here, except for the occasional moron. I think we could be adult enough about it.
Crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
A leprechaun.
I want to know where to go like. I want to go. Give me the go.
Leprechaun could be a crackhead. I got hold of the wrong stuff.
I want to know where to go like. I want to go. Give me the go. I want to run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to go.
It look like a leprechaun to me. Look up in the tree. It look like a leprechaun to me.
Could be a crackhead.
Whoa, see the leprechaun say yeah. Say yeah.
smells right here. Special leprechaun fruit passed down from thousands of years ago. From my great-great-grandfather who was Irish, I just can't help all. I wanna know where to go like. I want to go, give me the dough.
Leprechaun could be a crackhead. He got hold of the wrong stuff.
I wanna know where to go like. I want to go, give me the dough. I wanna run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to go.
Maybe one.
You can songify yourself for free on the Songify app. Just like this.
Just like this.
Maybe.
Now we gotta find the leprechaun, play the magic flute before he's gone.
The soothing tones of the woodwind shall draw him in. Woohoo!
If that sounds interesting to you guys, then maybe we'll take it to the next step and really start the planning of it. Foster pup and sleeping on your legs. Right on. No, probably not, Tommy. The people who get car sick, yeah, that's a good point to bring up. That's why I brought it up to have a discussion with you guys. Tommy, loads going out that way don't pay much, bro. That's the problem. I have to be able to make money, not spend it all. But yeah, I wanted to kind of get your guys' opinion, pros and cons of it. I'll wait till I get home, Tommy. Well, that is a little bit closer for you, Bill. I delivered today yet, Momo. As soon as I can get there. I was going to stop and watch the truck and trailer, but not doing that now. Yeah, the production side of it for sure. Midwest. A lobster cam. Tip. I don't see Tip nowhere. Am I missing Tip? Fucking Momo. Always fucking with me. Well, you know, everybody here wishes you the best, Bill. Well, it's only quarter to 4 in the morning in Hawaii, so I would imagine sleeping or doing chores. Yeah, it certainly sounds like it, Bill. Damn. Sorry to hear that. Were you a jumper or what? See, times like this, we could switch to a side camera. We could really see what's going on. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely, Casey. I'm starting to feel the effects of it for sure. Answer. And what exactly is that, Bill? I want to be an airborne ranger. I want to live a life of danger. Taxi driver for the SEALs? Oh, hell yeah. Right on, Bill. That's very cool. Got beat to shit on the open ocean. Yeah. Oh, I know those little raps. Was it actual boats or those little inflatables types? Not necessarily an inflatable. You know what I mean. $60-foot aluminum hull. Okay, that explains that. That what it was, Bill? A Zodiac? Oh, I got you. RHIBs. Yeah, this is way better view for you guys. Weird cloud formations and shit. That's right, aliens. That's what turned the flocks gay. Doc, I think Bill's older than you. Hey, Havoc, good to see you, brother. There's my special mod. Unindoctrinated. I think that's a completely different PBR. All right, Tommy. Have a good day. Be safe out there. Catch you next time, or maybe a little bit later. Havoc, that's because of my area. There's several different little towns or whatever. You can't have them all on the same day, so they spread it out. Hey, Grand National, good to see you, bro. I appreciate you stopping in. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And happy birthday to both of my grandmothers. May they rest in peace. Both grandmothers had a birthday today.
So you had to pull people off of other things. It was always chaos to get Biden to an event because they didn't know if he was with it that day.
Just making everybody paranoid. It's shaking any remaining faith we had in our institutions. It's really this kind of secrecy is wrecking the country, and lack of accountability. It's like no one is ever punished. No one in authority is ever punished for anything. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter the level of malice they display. It doesn't matter the level of incompetence. They're never punished. They never lose their pensions. They're never, brought down a rank. They never go to jail. Who ran the Biden White House? Who made these decisions? We'll probably never know. That fact alone makes you feel like the whole system is fake. Like, why even vote?
This is why everybody in this chat, I guarantee you, and I know everybody I know, are all very attuned to Attorney General Pam Bondi right now. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Well, let's go. The clock is ticking. That Epstein stuff, I'm not telling you anything everyone doesn't already know, but that was bad. That was bad. And I do think, it's fair. It's super complicated to get control of something as large, the largest human organization in history, the federal government. On the other hand, Epstein documents, there are millions of Epstein documents. It's the Epstein videos. Like, let's be real here. It's the Epstein videos. And everyone kind of knows that we're not going to get to see those because that operation...
Because his whole house, his homes were all wired for video in order to capture blackmail.
Let's start here. I think it's pretty clear. I think any honest person reviewing all the evidence, and I have, it's like the one topic I know a lot about, surrounding his death, would conclude it was a murder. He was murdered. So he's murdered in the most secure unit in the federal detention center in Manhattan.
Yes.
How in the world could that happen? Now, Attorney General Barr, who was President Trump's attorney general for part of his first term, was supposed to initiate an investigation into this, and he didn't. Where's the investigation? Why can't we get any answers about Epstein's death, which was clearly a murder?
Right. The cameras are off. The guards falsify the records. Nobody visits the cell, and somehow he kills himself.
I've talked to the people Epstein was on the phone with hours before he died. He thought he was getting out of jail. I talked to his lawyer about it, his brother. Anyway, let's start there. How did Epstein die? Who killed it? Who has the power to murder someone in a federal detention facility and then cover it up? Like, what is that actually?
Yes. Well, getting to the bottom of that, one of the many important things we have to do. This is, of course, the first episode of Vince. I am so thrilled that you were with us for this. Now, here's the cool thing. Tucker's not done. Our conversation continues. Part 2 of the big interview with Tucker Carlson will be right here tomorrow on Rumble. In the meantime, thank you for joining us.
Oh, bless you, Vincent. Congratulations. This is so cool.
It is cool, man. We've got a lot to get to. Thank you, Tucker.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Oh, right on, Bill. Maybe one of these days I'll get to check that out. Denver area. Grand National. This is Vegas, bro. Exactly. Benny. Yes, Midwest. They have legal brothels in Nevada. Yes, they do, Bill. Well, not necessarily in Vegas, but in Nevada they do. No, it's not a myth. So up north.
Gone. And it's not just me. Tim Pool, Russell Brand, Evita in the Morning, The Quartering. We are launching something called The Lineup, live every day on Rumble. And all of us, March 24th.
Get YouTube back on there. That's what we want.
March 24th is D-Day. The Lineup is coming. So hold on to your butts because people will be remembering this for years to come.
YouTube is good for people like us. Turn it back to YouTube right now.
Shh. This is what we're watching now.
This moment that everyone realized YouTube is dead. And Rumble did it.
YouTube is dead.
Convicted felon president.
Self-inflicted.
This is what makes me feel beautiful.
We've got the big stream.
Largest stream on the planet for election night.
On Rumble each day. Uh-oh. Well, it's just a dumb and dull. Yeah, on Rumble and freedom. Well, the lineup is epic. All day long, I can't believe we never had it. Tim Pool and Crowder.
Stephen Crowder. He's very offensive. Very offensive. Other offensive remarks that Trump has been making.
Now YouTube's canceled.
Select celebrates all identities.
We stream to Rumble.
Deal with all of Trump's dumb stuff.
You've got a problem.
Tech platforms access to accurate information.
Rumble's a problem. Well, it's just a dumb and dull. Yeah, on Rumble it's freedom. Well, the lineup is epic. All day long, I can't believe we never had it. Tim Pool and Crowder.
It's free, it's live, there's no reason to go anywhere else. YouTube is dead, and Rumble did it. Rumble, we own live. Glad to be with you, and glad to see so many of you coming over from the beginning of the lineup. Rumble exclusive, Evita, Vince, and now listen, we'll be going to Tim Pool after this. Look, today's theme, I want to let you know what this is. Okay, this is a little foreshadowing, and call me Steinbeck, is the left hates America. And I'm not just saying that. It's not just using hyperbole. We're going to go through the story. So we see now that Democrats, we're going to get to this, they're at an all-time low approval. At the same time, we see optimism in the United States, our direction, at a 20-year high. And then we're going to look at these stories. Donald Trump, President Trump, killing Houthi terrorists. That makes sense. Okay, the left is upset about it. Now they're anti-war, not as it relates to Ukraine. President Trump, we look at what is happening with deporting South American gangs. The left is upset about it. Doge, getting rid of government waste. The left is upset. How do you, and you can comment below, how do you maintain the position? How do you reconcile supporting a never-ending war, funding for Ukraine, and somehow take a stand against killing people with the direct charter, the direct expressed purpose of killing Americans and taking out ships? The only way is if you hate the United States of America, and we know that, but we're going to prove it today. This is our last week live on YouTube. Our last week starting next Monday, I believe the 24th. All streaming takes place on Rumble exclusively. It is live weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. That's the new time slot. And if at some point when you're watching on YouTube, this is the last week, you may ever see this, that means head on over to Rumble. They hate you. Download the app and follow us. You will get notifications as to when we are live, not a bunch of other crap. You don't have to worry about algorithms. You don't have to worry about Xi Jinping propaganda being thrust into your timeline when you search a Change My Mind. Just go to Rumble. Let us know how you're enjoying it thus far. Captain Morgan, CEO, how are you?
I am doing well. By the way, update your Rumble.
Go, hell yeah.
If you're a Rumble Premium member, you get to watch 100% more show. We're not taking anything away from free. We're just taking it off of the communist platform that is YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Taking it out of the ghetto. Taking it out of the hands of the SS. Did I just compare YouTube to the SS? I did. Josh Firestein, not underscore Firestein on X. Doing well, sir?
Yeah, my neck's a little sore, but
oh,
why?
Well, because I was getting choked out.
Well, there's only two ways you injure your neck.
That's true.
Well,
one is whiplash.
I got a smaller Adam's apple than a trans woman.
Well, come on now, Michael Douglas is going to be talking through this. Catherine Zeta, you selfish harlot. Now, Don Lemon, to lead this off, is racist. You know that. He's also gay, but we don't care, right? It's 2025. That's okay. He's gay and he's racist. Or racist and gay, whichever you prefer first. Yeah, he's gaysist. He is a gaysist. He's a grand wizard in the gaysist clan.
Founding member.
And he disappeared, and after he tried to do his show on X, and then that got canceled, he appeared on Bill Maher's online sort of podcast, and he just couldn't help himself. He couldn't stop himself from attacking black Trump supporters and really anyone who's not a gaysist themselves.
It's the same thing that when I see not all black Republicans, but I see a black MAGA person who is carrying Donald Trump's water and they know that he's lying. It is the shortest line to the front, because if you're black and you're whatever, you're just in line with a bunch of other Democrats that are doing the same thing that you're doing. But if you become a black MAGA person, it's like, whoa, let's book this person. Let's put him on television.
So you don't think you can be a sincere black MAGA person?
No, I just said, I don't think that. I just said I think there can be sincere Republicans,
but you can't be a sincere black Republican.
I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can be a rational MAGA, be black and be a rational MAGA person. I think you can be black and be a Republican.
I think they would find that very insulting.
Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting.
Like your ratings. How about a sincere black Peter Puffer who looks like Otter from Animal House? Are there a lot of those walking around, or just you? Skinny Bluto.
Please keep going down this line. Please go down this line. When more black people voted for Donald Trump,
I know
this time around, as a percentage, as a whole number.
I'm telling you, you can't get through to people like Don Lemon.
No,
because they hate the United States of America. It starts off with America bad, America racist, America slavery. To believe those things, you'd have to sort of not even acknowledge that there are more slaves right now on Earth than ever in recorded history. To not actually look in context of what is happening with immigration, border crossings down, to not see what is happening with the price of eggs, to not see what is happening with just absolutely destroying the Houthi, which is very fun. I mean, it's like whack-a-mole with pricks who should die anyway. It should be an American pastime. These people are simply against everything that would be in line with American exceptionalism because America bad. Here's another example right here. This is something we can all celebrate. When people say, let's find common ground, okay, all right. You remember, the left, their trump card, forgive the expression, was, what about the price of eggs? What about the price of eggs 3 weeks into Donald Trump's presidency, right? What about the price of eggs? Okay. Egg prices have now dropped, this should be common ground, for the third straight week, along with gas.
I have some good news for you. The USDA says wholesale egg prices dropped for the third straight week, and it's a pretty big drop. The average wholesale price nationwide fell to $4.15 per dozen. So let's put that in perspective. That is down about $2.70 in just 1 week.
So here's the thing. I looked far and wide on social this morning to find the leftist profiles that were saying, what about the price of eggs, to see if they go, okay, all right, good for America.
Yes.
Not one exists. Not one. How do you find common ground with that? My genuine question, we need to stop finding common ground based on a lie. You don't revile the left enough. They can't stand you. They use you. You, the American worker who subsidizes the entire world. Yes, that includes Europe's entitlement programs, including free internet in Germany. That's because they don't meet their NATO spending, their agreement. You subsidize the entire world, and the left sees you as merely a pawn for a political talking point. They don't care about your grocery bills. Otherwise, right now, this would be a celebration. Good.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? We're not seeing it anywhere.
You will not see it. I guarantee you won't see it celebrating Donald Trump and the efforts this administration took. They basically would just say that it happened.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump didn't do anything about it. Thank God the farmers got together and had chickens make more eggs. I don't know.
I'm kind of. That's what they did. They had a meeting
exactly.
in the chicken coop.
Yeah. They lit some candles.
I can't wait to see all these Democrats posting their Easter pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
They're grown adults without kids painting eggs.
How do they get those chickens to get busy so quickly? Like, now look,
Little Marvin Gaye.
You call yourself a rooster? You got that hen right there. She's making eyes at you. What? Your rooster won't come out of the hen house? What's going on down there? Come on, we need some eggs.
They call them the dominatrix roosters.
Yes.
I don't think that.
I know they're not fertilized.
They don't. Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
It was just perverted.
Josh has a problem with
I'm like, wait a second. Yeah. Those are unfertilized.
No, they don't let them mate. They just bring them in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm very distracted because I just, guys, there we go. I got a little mustache hair. It was in my.
Oh, really?
Sorry about that.
It's my.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the sore neck. All right. So let's
see when a rooster sees another rooster.
That's right. Theme today: the left can't stand America. It really does permeate everything, and this comes at a time right now where two polls, CNN, and then I believe we also have NBC.
NBC, yeah.
NBC. Approval for the Democrat Party as a whole is at an all-time low, where at the same time, we see optimism for the country at a 20-year high. That's a good thing for America, bad for the Democrat Party. That's the trend we're going to be addressing today. All-time low. Here you go.
A brand new exclusive CNN poll that paints a brutal reality for Democrats as they struggle to mount a unified opposition to President Trump. Americans' favorable views of the Democratic Party's brand are at a record low, just 29%. That's compared to 36% for Republicans. It is the lowest ever recorded for Democrats in CNN polling, going back more than 30 years. As you can see, the party's numbers dropping a staggering 20 points in just 4 years.
You sound surprised, guy who looks like a mix of Lori Lightfoot and Ralph Macchio. It's... It's Raju Macchio.
Wait till you see your scissor move.
Wait till you see him whack off.
No. Wax.
Yeah, well, I hired him to sand my floor. He sucked. So, another NBC poll shows all-time low approval for Democrats.
Wow.
27% approve, with only 7% strongly approving. I don't even know how you do that. Like, you would think, how do you not get your own part? Only 7% strongly approve. This poll goes all the way back to 1990.
NBC, known as a bastion of conservatism.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You know, they got this poll back from CNN. And by the way, they even skew the polls. And someone got the results and went, you're bullshitting.
We got to make this 3% of 7 somehow.
We got to cover this. Can we say the margin of error is plus or minus the whole poll? Can we just say that? Now, same time, optimism in the country is at a 20-year high. This comes from Axios. 44% of people say the country is heading in the right direction. That's the highest it's been since 2004.
Wow.
Awesome. Isn't that a great thing?
That's fantastic. But everything you hear on CNN is probably going to be Donald Trump's numbers are tanking. People don't like what he's doing on the economy. It's like, look at your own numbers.
Right. But it tells you, you do see an inverse correlation between the Democrats, right, what they want and what Americans want. Yeah. That's what you're seeing is this chasm. It is widening. They are very out of touch. For anyone who says that Donald Trump didn't come in with a mandate, it becomes clearer by the day that he has. Mm-hmm. And you are going to see gas prices probably come down. I don't know how much more they can come down. You're going to see prices stabilize. You're going to see countries playing ball. You're going to see America act unashamed of its country. That's the big cultural shift that we are seeing. We were browbeaten. We felt guilty because the left goes, if you're successful, you must be an oppressor. And if you're an unsuccessful country, you must be oppressed. Turns out Canada just sucks. Now,
who knew?
Everyone. It was the unspoken rule.
It really was.
Because,
just don't say
it had a rough go.
Yeah.
Let's go through. And for people who are new, all the references are available for this show every day. Link in the description so you can peruse them. Please do not take my word for it. Go read the references. Most of them are left-leaning because we want you to know what the left is saying. Here are the top reasons that we're seeing this from the left and why you are seeing this being completely incongruent, the left's agenda with the United States, with our best interests. Reason number one. The left, everyone thought it was just the economy in this election. I don't agree. I think that was a big deal. But the left has reached so far that they are deeply unpopular as it relates to social issues, and they can't help themselves. They're addicted to crazy.
Protecting and supporting access to gender-affirming healthcare is essential to being a welcoming and supportive state to the community.
I made sure that they
the horse
changed
had a good time.
policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care that they desired and need.
She said that out loud.
At the White House?
All of us are living our daily lives trying to simply
That's
find
Bernard from the
space
Santa Claus.
to be who we are, to love who we love, to exist in our schools.
Leah, how did that performance measure up to your expectations coming into this meet tonight?
I didn't have a whole lot of expectations for this meet.
She said meet?
I was just happy to be here trying to
beat up some Brits,
race and compete as
beat up
best
some
I
bitches.
could.
Climate change is having
The
a
One Piece is
disproportionate
hilarious.
effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities.
Safety is the way in which you reopen. Only people who think that our members are not the people who are impacted, like students, like parents, would raise these issues.
And it is important that we train and we understand. And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it.
I look at you, I get
States should have a
rageful.
right to ban gender-affirming health care.
I don't think any state or anybody should have the right to do that. As a moral question and as a legal question. I just think it's wrong.
So remember, when they try and distance themselves, like Gavin Newsom saying Latinx, I've never heard of that, and men and women's sports, you go, no, get back here, get back here. Let's put your face right next to Kamala, right next to Walz, right next to Biden. Come on, get in, scooch in for your JCPenney family picture, okay? Don't let them put some distance or daylight between what they did in this country. That includes men and women's sports. That includes the COVID mandates. That includes transing the kids. That includes LGBTQ, AIP, and pornography in children's schools. That includes the race baiting. That includes the phobia, the ism, everything they could accuse you of being falsely, and they knew it for the last several decades. Don't let them put some distance between who they are and how they are perceived. They can't stand America. Reason number 2, that the left is very unpopular. It's not just inflation. We're going to talk about this as it relates to the Houthi. We're going to talk about this as it relates to ISIS. The left has weakened America, and there have been presidents who have done that, and it kind of ebbs and flows. But they have championed America, putting ourselves in a weak position. And Americans are tired of it.
Did you come here because Joe Biden was elected president?
Basically.
It was unprovoked, but this is what Russian President Vladimir Putin unleashed on Ukraine.
The latest China-Russia military drills show that hostility is now in the past. It's a military partnership that's strengthening, thanks in part to both countries' worsening relations with the United States.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
Now, police arresting 33-year-old Sebastian Zapeta, migrant from Guatemala, who entered the country illegally in 2018. They say he allegedly lit Guam's clothes on fire.
Former Marine is facing a second-degree manslaughter charge in connection to the chokehold death of Neely on an Uptown F train. Our witnesses say Neely, who was on a special watch list for the city's homeless population, was shouting that he was hungry and didn't care if he died.
Yeah, the greatest country on earth was put in a weak position internationally, and you were put in a weakened position personally. Never-ending supply of funding to Ukraine. Sure, we're not going to call the rest of these NATO nations to actually honor their contract. Yeah, tariffs, 250% on dairy, Canada. We don't care. We allowed ourselves to be taken advantage of in the name of progressivism, and then you had to let them loot, give them room to steal, especially if you were in the Bay Area, up to $999 because of something racism. Yeah, we'll have catch and release and no cash bail in New York. Sure, we'll have a summer of love and let people burn down this entire country. This happened under the left's watch. And even people who voted Democrat are now saying, you know what are we doing here? The Afghanistan pullout, Russia invading Ukraine, crime in our cities that they tried to claim was down. Of course, you believed your lying eyes, your lying ears. Illegals who have no business being here, killing citizens, including Laken Riley and Jocelyn Nungaray. Terrorists attacking our shipping vessels. We'll get to that. And this brings us to key reason number 3 that the left is losing. Remember when they used to say Republicans had no identity, conservatives didn't, they were just the party of no to Barack Obama? I don't necessarily agree with that, and there was a valid reason for people to be saying no, because Barack Obama set the stage for Biden. Everything that you really hate as far as overly powerful, encroaching government to every area of your life, that stage was set by Barack Obama. But the left really doesn't have an identity. Progress for the sake of progress leads nowhere when at a certain point the American people reject said progressivism. And so all they have left to offer is what we now know as Trump derangement syndrome. They're the party of Trump bad.
You're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Other than day one, which is another way of saying, yep, it's a frightening new flashpoint in a trend that we have monitored for years.
Or it's a joke.
Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Ayatollah Khomeini, and Vladimir Putin. In fact, Stalin won the distinction twice, just like Trump.
Trump warning while discussing the economy that there would be a, quote, bloodbath if he is not reelected in November.
Trump is mentally incapable of doing the job he was elected to do.
President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever.
We know who he is to the black press. How he
the guy who shows up
berated us, how
on time
his minions have berated us.
Erratic, frightening, disruptive, and dictator were among the words they used to describe their concerns.
Trump likes drama and he likes to win. If he pursues the present course, he will not win. He will lose.
Does that man have teeth?
Putin's stooge.
Putin's
poodle.
Well, can I say one thing? What was your reaction?
Well, my reaction was I was at Costco buying, 10 boxes of Keurig coffee, and my watch started to buzz, and I got so excited I started leaking a little bit.
Ew, at your age? Gross.
Yeah. Let me just rephrase that. What she meant to say was, I was buying the least environmentally sustainable and completely unnecessary form of coffee humanly possible, and I pissed my old panties. But it's Trump's fault.
She went on to say, mange ma blood.
There's 4 French people who are like, that's too bad. Don't say that. This is the show for family. Don't talk like that. So what is it? Donald Trump's a dictator. Donald Trump promised a bloodbath when he was talking about cars and factories going in Mexico. Yeah. Donald Trump is incompetent. Donald Trump is a Russian stooge. Something egg prices. None of this has been consistent. The only through line you are seeing from the left is we hate Donald Trump. As far as policy, what you are seeing is they have consistently weakened the United States position and blamed you for it, the American worker. And when asked if the country was heading in the right direction, one immigrant had this to say.
I don't know. I just got here.
You know what? Hey. It's okay to not know.
That's right. If you don't know, that's the right answer.
That is the right
answer.
Be
honest.
Yeah.
Don't be confidently wrong.
I find myself answering that all the time with my son because he's at the why phase.
Oh, God.
And he goes, why? You're like, because that's, I went to the store and I bought it. Why?
You're like 10 layers deep.
Oh, boy. I have to question supply side economics.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Explain his desire.
You realize you don't think why enough.
Yes.
Why? Because they weren't taking any more kids for adoption.
Why? Well, some of them are racist. Let's just move on from the conversation, okay? That's enough.
You know who's asking why right now? CNN. Why are these poll numbers so low? Democrat favorability hits record low. You know what Donald Trump is doing? He is forcing them to double down because they just showed poll numbers that they said they wanted more people to stop Donald Trump and to double down on their principles. Good. Donald Trump is forcing you to double down on losing issues.
Yeah.
Go for it. Be like the Don Lemons of the world. Ask why and not point the finger at yourself and just point the finger at Donald Trump. See how that goes.
Yeah. No, it's something racism, transphobia, homophobia. Well, homophobia is not really used anymore, I guess.
Really. I'm not really afraid anymore.
Well, I don't think anyone's been afraid.
I mean, it is a phobia.
I went through exposure therapy.
You did?
Yeah. You just go to a gay bar and you touch the Richard Simmons tapes.
It's the white privilege shared by all the races.
Yes, exactly.
That's better than immersion therapy.
Yeah. Well, depends. Oh, wait, we're talking about homophobia? No, immersion therapy. Bad. Yeah. Immersion therapy.
Very bad. Very bad.
Here are some reasons, though, for optimism. On the flip side, okay, you see people saying, all right, yeah, all-time low approval of the Democrat Party. Why are people optimistic at a 20-year high? All right, here's the first reason. Again, from the party of no with no solutions. Immigration, right? We're looking at all-time low border crossings. 56% of Americans approve of President Trump's handling of the borders. Now, I don't think that policy should be dictated by polls. I think policy should be dictated by constitutional parameters and what is right. It is certainly right for the federal government to protect its citizens from threats, both internal and external.
Yes.
This falls under the purview of government. So this is a happy coincidence where what is right lines up with polls. 66% of Americans support deporting illegals. Remember when we were told that could never happen? All the libertarian experts, what do you think, are just going to round them up and deport them?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Kind of the same way we said you can't stop the crossings. We just, 5,000 a day and then we'll close the border.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
How about 540 or whatever it was?
Right.
That one day.
This is where we are. Something else, too. The left is surprised that Americans believe, hey, maybe the federal government is wasteful. This brings us to reason number 2. Cutting said waste. 46% of people said that DOGE was a good idea. Taxpayers are happy that they ultimately will be able to keep more of their own money. That is a fundamental shift, because I've been around since the Bernie Bros were a thing, and they were always talking about taxing the rich. You could never really pin them down in a number. It was, give me more from them. That has shifted to, okay, you know what? At least let me keep more of my own money. Let me ask you this. If at the end of the day, let's say you taxed the wealthy even more and you redistributed it, versus simply allowing everyone to keep more of their own money. So it's the same money at the end of the day. Which way is less corrosive? Which way is less intrusive? Which way permits people to have more freedom, to be able to manifest their own destiny? That's a fundamental shift in culture. I think that's why people are optimistic, because they see you can't just tax and spend your way into wealth. Reason number 3, and I think this is a big thing. You look, the pendulum kind of swings in the 80s. Everyone was pro-America. Everyone was proud. You kind of had it after 9/11. Everyone came together. And then we started teaching kids that the United States is uniquely responsible for all the evils of the world. I think Americans at a certain point, what, all these other countries can be nationalistic. They can be proud of their nation. What, for crying out loud, we have people who come to this nation from nations that they're supposedly fleeing and prop up their, I don't want to see a Mexican flag in my neighborhood.
Yeah, we let Germans be proud of being German, and
yeah, and that doesn't work out that well.
They did some stuff.
Yeah. If you're a history buff, you got to keep your eye on them.
Yes.
They're untrustworthy. Killed a lot of Jews.
No.
Not sure if you knew that. Actually happened.
President Trump's message is very pro-American, and I think America is ready for it.
For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. We've been ripped off for years, and we're not going to be ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all. The United States can't subsidize a country for 200 $1 billion a year. We don't need their cars. We don't need their energy. We don't need their lumber. And to be honest with you, Canada only works as a state. It doesn't. We don't need anything they have. The United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
Hear that applause? And by the way, not even close to the applause he received from that infamous picture when he saved the baby bald eagle while wiping his ass with the Canadian flag. That was one look. Look, this is something. You may not agree with his methods, but the spirit of the message.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I didn't see that Photoshop until he went to air. I don't know why he has the copper tone baby butt.
He does, yes.
I've never seen a baby bald eagle. It's cute.
I had
It's
no
so
idea.
cute.
It is cute. I want one. Can we do that, or are they in danger?
That's it.
They are
do that.
protected.
Ah.
Not in danger, but they're protected.
All right.
Even the babies?
Yeah, well, I can just protect
Especially the babies, Gerald.
I still don't know how to identify a hawk versus an eagle. I don't know which one's bigger. Can you guys comment below? I don't know.
The one picking at your eyeball is the hawk.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to start falconry until I realized that they can attack you when you're sleeping.
Falcons are dangerous.
So the conclusion is it's hate. The left is the party of hate. The Democrats are the party of hate. The progressive wing progresses towards hate. They get more power and they create more hate. They sow more division while accusing you of doing so. It's projection. The left cannot stand America. It's the same reason that if you go house to house and you see an American flag being waved proudly, you're almost guaranteed that they're conservative. You can see Bill Burr's latest stand-up special, where he was talking about how it bothers him, how aggravated he is at dumb people who fly the flag. Well, the reason why is because a lot of people want to show their patriotism because there are so many Americans who seem to be ashamed of this country. That's not an issue on which we should be divided, so you have to ask yourself why. And once you do, that's what explains these latest poll numbers and approval ratings. The future looks bright for the United States. That's what I would say. That's a good thing. Unless, by the way, it looks bright, exception. Doesn't look so bright if you overpay on taxes.
What does overpaying on your taxes feel like? About like that. Don't let the IRS bust your balls. Visit tnusa.com/Crowder or call 1-800-958-1000 for immediate relief and expert guidance. Ooh.
There you go. I didn't realize we were cutting at that point. You have a direct preferred line to the IRS. Nice. Talk to an agent for free, tnusa.com/Crowder. And as we promised you to new people tuning in, never more than one sponsor per show, because Rumble Premium is what keeps the lights on here. We are funded by viewers like you, not in the way that NPR or PBS, I couldn't remember the name.
Public money.
PBS says, they were funded by a foreign caliphate and taxpayer dollars. You can click that button and join Rumble Premium and watch us for an additional hour every day. Mug Club is now Rumble Premium. Rumble Premium is Mug Club. What were you about to say there, Gerald? It looks like you had something.
Well, they wanted me to remind everybody, download the Rumble app and make sure you follow us.
Yes.
Right? So follow us. You'll get the live notifications. And don't do it right this second. But after this show, update the app.
Update the app.
Make sure.
So I don't know. Anyone here have very strong opinions on the Houthis other than kill them?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean,
we're mostly in agreement then?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Or hopefully they die of their own accord.
Yeah.
I'm also for that.
Yeah, starvation's okay too.
Yeah.
So,
drowning, whatever.
Here is, again, where we are. The left can't stand America. You've seen what is happening right now. Well, we'll start with ISIS and then get to the Houthis. I don't know how you have people who try and maintain these positions send more money to Ukraine. The people who were the anti-war party. I don't know where Code Pink has gone. And then, that Donald Trump is a warmonger when he's attacking people who are directly responsible for the deaths and ongoing attacks against American citizens. Can you explain to me the logic from the left? And if one of you watching right now leans left, maybe you can explain it to me. I get why libertarians say, hey, we should never engage in violence and all of it is bad, and that's because a lot of them are delusional. I don't get how the left tries to present themselves as logically consistent. So here's where we are. The first sort of serious military action of his second term, this happened on Thursday. President Trump killed the ISIS chief Abu Khadija.
U.S. CENTCOM forces announced that on March 13th, it had conducted a precision airstrike in western Iraq, killing ISIS chief of operations Abu Khadija and one other ISIS operative.
Is Abu dead?
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah.
It's unclear if it's confirmed.
Listen, it should be a celebration.
So, according to U.S. Central Command, he was in charge of operations, logistics, global planning, and finance. He was a busy terrorist beaver.
Yes, he was.
And keep in mind that President Trump was wearing this while he annihilated the ISIS leader.
He signed himself.
Yes. And we actually have an exclusive look at the strike on Khadija.
And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more. And to be the man who would walk 1,000 miles and fall down at your door. Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah
Akbar! It's a feel-good family flick.
It is. There's a twist.
Not really. It's kind of...
It's a short movie.
Yeah, it really is.
You kind of know where it's going, but you want to see how we get there.
National Lampoon's Iraq Vacation.
Yes, exactly. Oh, don't get me started on Ernest Takes Kabul. It's a lot of fun. So Trump also announced that the United States would take military action against the Houthis in Yemen. He posted this on Truth Social. He said, "Today I have ordered the United States military to launch decisive and powerful military action against the Houthi terrorists in Yemen." To all Houthi terrorists, your time is up and your attacks must stop starting today, not tomorrow, today. If they don't, hell will rain down upon you like nothing you have ever seen before. They don't get IMAX, so this is...
It's true.
And
all caps for half of that.
It's not light rain.
No, it's not
Very
light.
heavy rain.
Yeah.
The rain, it's chubby rain. The rain is chubby. Name that movie line. You can comment below. Rubio, who's probably most improved player that we're seeing as of late, he laid out exactly what this means and what the goal is. Again, clear and in the best interest of the United States.
This is not a message. This is not a one-off. This is an effort to deny them the ability to continue to constrict and control shipping. And it's just not going to happen. We're not going to have these guys, these people with weapons able to tell us where our ships can go, where the ships of all the world can go, by the way. It's not just the U.S. We're doing the world a favor. Yeah. We're doing the entire world a favor by getting rid of these guys and their ability to strike global shipping. That's the mission here, and it will continue until that's carried out. That never happened before. The Biden administration didn't do that. All the Biden administration would do is they would respond to an attack. These guys would launch one rocket, we'd hit the rocket launcher. That's it. This is an effort to take away their ability to control global shipping in that part of the world. That's just not going to happen anymore.
And it could.
This will continue until that's finished.
It's funny to me that she seems confused.
Yeah. Right.
Like, is there anything less American than, just a tit for tat? Like, they hit one, we'll hit another. You realize this country was like, we didn't just start a war. We were petty enough to dump all of their tea into the harbor.
I know.
Like, we're going to shoot you, and you know what? Screw you. Look at this. All this tea, gone. That's so valuable. Like, we don't give a rat's ass. We're going to switch to beans, bitch.
Yes. We tried the proportional response angle already. You're going to see how many times. I was shocked by this number. We'll get to it in a second.
Yeah.
But now it's the disproportional response.
Which is what I like.
Yes.
I like a very, very violent response.
It's like a glass factory in Yemen.
When dealing with terrorists who are targeting Americans.
Houthis, yes.
To be clear. So let's go through the claims that you are hearing. All references available. Link in the description. You'll hear this claim from the left and from some libertarians, unfortunately, that President Trump is a neocon tool of the military-industrial complex. Thomas Massey, who I usually like, not so much on foreign policy, said, regarding U.S. activity in Yemen, I recently said to watch for a new military engagement to compensate for the pullback in Ukraine. The military-industrial complex demands about $50 billion a year from our government above and beyond what's necessary to defend our own country. Well, that's true right now, but here's the truth. We're not starting anything. Okay, this is very, very different from Ukraine, and I think that most of you know this. You have to be really stupid to be in our hallowed halls of Congress and the Senate or academia to act as though there's some kind of equivalency between this and unnecessary wars. You know, like Ukraine. So let's go. Since September 2023, the Houthi attacks on our Navy, okay, the number is 174. On commercial shipping, 145.
That's 173 more than there should have been.
Yes, exactly.
Until something like this happened. I'm sorry, one time on the U.S. Navy, and hell rains down on you.
Yes.
There's no proportional response to this.
How many ship attacks did it take us to get into World War II, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well,
how many fake ones did it take to get us into Vietnam?
It's a good point. Yeah. These attacks take place. This is a legitimate role of the military. Do I think that the military is bloated? Sure. When you're providing sex change operations to people who have no business being there in the first place, yeah. Do I think that this is an unnecessary use of force when they have attacked us several hundred times and have said that they will continue to do so? No. And by the way, I don't believe we should ever enter into conflict unless it directly involves America's interests. This does. You can comment if you disagree. Yeah. Here's another claim that you will see, that this actually doesn't even help America, and for some reason it benefits China. You see this a lot. You can see that up there in the collage, the overlays. Here's the truth. No.
Wrong.
No, that's wrong. So a lot of aspects of trade as it relates to the United States have been impacted. Auto imports, textiles, agricultural exports. Partners like South Korea, Japan, they also depend pretty heavily on the Suez Canal, to be clear. And for those of you who don't remember, in March 2024, the Houthi already promised China and Russia free navigation through the Red Sea, whereas right now they're saying, but no Americans. Well, that doesn't sound super friendly, to be clear. There's a next claim that you're going to see, and there's a faction that has sort of been growing quite a bit, that President Trump is something Jews.
Oh, boy.
Doing this for Israel.
This is way more prevalent than I want to admit.
Now, look, I understand. Criticism of the Israeli government and some of what they do is valid.
Fine.
My opinion is I want Hamas wiped off the face of the map. I think it's probably going to come to a one-state solution. The state will be Israel. Do we give too much money to Israel? that can be argued.
Yes.
And certainly when you understand that we're sending money to Qatar, who funds Hamas and Hezbollah, I think if we just pinched that valve and sent money to none of the nations, including Israel and all the nations who want to wipe it off the face of the map, hey, they'd be better off. There's a valid argument to be made. But something Houthi rebels were only attacking them because Jews, I don't understand this. They're attacking our Navy, the American Navy, our sailors. They've killed civilian cargo shipping crew members. None of them were Israeli. They are damaging shipping on a global level. And even worse, they give stupid press conferences like this in which their leader looks like Guile in Street Fighter if you hit the X button and it changed colors.
وردا على هذا العدوان نفذت القوات المسلحة بعون الله تعالى عملية عسكرية نوعية استهدفت من خلالها حاملة الطائرات الأمريكية USS هاري ترومان والقطع الحربية التابعة لها شمالي البحر الأحمر وذلك ب18 صاروخا باليستيا ومجنحا وطائرة مسيرة في عملية مشتركة نفذتها القوة الصاروخية وكذلك سلاح الجو المسير والقوات البحرية.
I don't know about you, but I just was intimidated 0%.
No, I don't take that guy seriously. By the way, he included weird details like winged missiles. That matters.
Yeah.
He said ballistic missiles before, so that shows technological kind of, prowess, fine. But we have the winged missiles and the
I
non-winged
think it's just
missiles.
bragging that, look at our arsenal, you know?
Yeah.
We have missiles that look like the Nerf ball that's like a bat, but it has wings and goes...
We have one that glows in the dark so you can play without the light.
That's exactly right. Also, we have internet and cricket. Now,
wireless or the game?
The left has gone right. Well, it's a game that takes like 2 weeks to play. It's the most ridiculous game ever. And anyone who makes cricket their national sport is inferior. So we now see the left pro-Ukraine, right? You're just a coward. You're a stooge for Putin. But now they're back to being anti-war as it relates to dealing with Houthi terrorists, the rebels who are killing Americans. Here's Brian Krasenstein, one of the twins. He said, I was promised less war, not more.
Shut up.
Well, why don't you cry about it? First off, there still is less war.
Yeah.
Hate that guy. There is less war, to be clear. I mean, it's not like Biden wasn't doing anything as it related to Yemen. He just sucked at it.
Also, eliminating these Houthi fighters will equate less war.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's 174 naval ships. Okay, how about we don't have those naval ships being attacked?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That's a novel idea.
War.
Brooklyn Dad wrote, you MAGA MFers said Trump was a no-wars president. We never said that. And he's already bombing Yemen in less than 2 months. You fell for it again, morons. You can go just to a couple weeks ago where he was demanding more money for Ukraine.
That's right. He definitely was.
We've never said Donald Trump is a no-wars president.
No.
We said he is the most anti-war president in modern American history. And he's been very clear that he will use it as a tool if people harm Americans.
Right.
You harm someone who is not American, you are having a war that doesn't involve the United States. We are not going to enter into it so that we can save our reserves. We can be prepared to hit you with the unholy hellfire that you deserve if you so much as scratch a hair on the head of an American. Not no wars, less wars.
By the way, just to add another person to this, never let it be said that Jackson Hinkle can't come down on the wrong side of an issue. Just posting that.
He's pro-Yemen?
Of course.
He's pro-Houthi?
He's anti-everything America stands for. Find an enemy of America and he will side with them. I kid
By the way, that's way worse of a Nazi salute than Elon.
It is.
He's holding it.
So it's got the fist.
He's sticking it.
Whatever. Yeah. Yemeni,
He's fisting it,
Houthi
really.
power, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, look, Houthi terrorism is bad for everybody, and it's really, really bad for Americans. Again, the left is simply anti-American. They can't stand America. Ukraine, they deserve money, even though it's one of the money laundering capitals of the world. We've sent them more money than all of you. They are saying that there's no valid claim to say, hey, why doesn't Europe step up? We've given them more than all of Europe. And by the way, we don't need to enter into this war. There is no valid argument to be made, according to the left, that we should maybe start putting a stop to that funding. However, there can be no valid claim to the left that we should take out terrorists who have targeted and killed and stated that they will continue to do so against American citizens. Can you guys help me make that make sense? I really have a tough time with it. And this did you have something, Noodles?
I was just going to say, this was Soleimani in his first term, wasn't it? It's not necessarily a war to perform strikes like this.
Right.
No, it actually is anti-war.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a difference between going and taking out somebody in charge and slowing down the operation or stopping an operation, and hopefully, and doing a full-scale invasion.
Right.
You take out these Houthi fighters, then now you avoid a full-on naval battle.
Yeah.
Or, they let the Houthis, that's what they would like. These warmongers would love to have the Houthis escalate this.
Yeah. Escalates to the point where you have to have a full-scale conflict. Yeah.
Or now we gotta order more planes. Now we gotta order more missiles.
Or you just nip it in the hairy terrorist bud.
Yes. I mean, basically the other opportunity or the other thing that you're offering is, okay, we just have to wait until they kill more U.S. sailors or maybe actually sink a U.S. vessel.
Yeah.
Is that really the argument that you got? Again, Donald Trump has forced them to be on the wrong side of another issue. Really quickly, almost forgot we have the Rumble Live promo code right now for $20 off.
Oh, to join Rumble Premium.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rumble Live promo code. Use it right now to join Rumble Premium. Get this show, extra hour of our show, just like we've always done.
Everything that's free is still free. If you're on YouTube, please head on over to Rumble, and we will be rating all of you, passing you over, if you are not a Rumble Premium member, to Tim Pool in about 10 minutes. And if you are Rumble Premium, you continue watching with us live for another 45 minutes. It's automatic. Free is still free, and you have that lineup. No need to go anywhere else. Speaking of full-scale invasion, let's talk about our border. Okay, let's talk about the gang members who've been flooding into the United States, or as the left referred to it, a figment of your imagination. So we've seen the left, they oppose us attacking terrorists who are killing American citizens, soldiers, and saying they will continue to do so. We see the left, of course, upset as it relates to Doge and saving the American taxpayer dollars. We see the left upset in Donald Trump reducing our spending, for example, with Ukraine in a never-ending war. They're upset about that. Okay, but can there be any justification? Is there an argument to be made as to how allowing unfettered illegal immigration is beneficial to you, the American taxpayer, the American worker? Because here we are. You guys know this. There was a judge who blocked the Trump administration from using the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to deport. This was used to deport MS-13 and TDA members. I believe it's Tren de Aragua. A lot of these are Venezuelan gangs. So this act was used to deport violent felons, and a judge blocked the administration from deporting violent felons. Let's get into their argument here.
The Trump administration says it sent hundreds of alleged Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador, raising questions about whether the deportations violate an order from a federal judge. Yesterday, the judge temporarily blocked the administration from deporting non-U.S. citizens under the Alien Enemies Act. He also ordered 2 planes carrying non-citizens that were in the air during the hearing to return to the U.S. immediately.
I don't know. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, President Trump ignored it. Well, sort of. I bet you he waited to answer that call. Like, tell him I'm in the bathroom. Oh, no, wait. The plane's already over international waters. I guess they should shut the big one.
The radios aren't working.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, no, they shouldn't be using Vonage. Now, the planes on Sunday touched down in El Salvador, and it's a sight. It's good. I love that those are violent, hardened gang members who are actually walking in the huddled fetal position. I've never seen that, but you know that they got some good swats on that plane because you don't typically walk around straight and just like, okay, I'm done, man. I'm done. I'll go in the cell, please.
They throw one guy out of the plane. Anybody else?
And this is a good example of Donald Trump rewards people who are good to us, allies, and those who are not. It's the carrot and it's the stick. So the El Salvador President Bukele wrote this, that the United States will pay a very low fee for them, but a high one for us. I don't know what an El Salvador accent is, so I don't want to.
You don't screw that up. Yeah.
As always, I'll do Spanish.
Yeah, I was going to say, just
as always, we will continue advancing in the fight against organized crime. But this time, we are also helping our allies, making our prison system self-sustainable, as obtaining vital intelligence to make our country an even safer place. All in a single action. May God bless El Salvador, and may God bless the United States. It's my favorite Hispanic, is the actual Spanish
really
one.
Is, yeah,
it's the funnest
Sorry,
one
El Salvador.
And so what you're seeing happen right now is, of course, the usual suspects on the left. They're having a conniption fit. Mm-hmm. You can see that they're furious about this because for some reason, these violent gang members are entitled to constitutional rights here in the United States, even though we have no idea how many people they've killed, raped, robbed. No clue.
Pillaged.
And the media, of course, is doing what they do. They're playing these word games. right? And this is what they did in the past, saying, well, undocumented workers. In this case, they're actually omitting the fact that these are criminal gang members.
Just hours after Donald Trump tried to use an 18th century law to deport 5 Venezuelans, a federal judge halted Trump's order.
The federal judge
Shoulders like a
blocked the
linebacker.
administration from deporting any non-citizens under the president's Alien Enemies Act.
A federal judge is blocking a new order from the president to deport some immigrants.
President Trump has invoked a wartime law known as the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to help speed up mass deportations in our country.
He could be invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. The president saying this would pave the way for faster mass deportations of those in the country illegally.
Yeah, you know what else is from the 1700s? Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
The second, come on. Like,
freedom of press, the one
seriously?
you're using right now
Yeah.
to try to minimize the act by saying it's from the 18th century.
They'll say, like, this is a slippery slope. If you deport violent criminals right now, gang members, what's next? More of them? I hope so.
Citing freedom of speech.
I hope so.
I love how
idea.
This morning we saw on CNN, it said alleged gang members.
Yeah.
What's the allege? The MS-13 tattoo on his face?
Yeah. They all self-identified, guys.
Yeah.
They're quite proud of it. I don't think they're going to deny it.
The fact that he bragged to like 19 people in his neighborhood and showed them documented proof. Like, this is the picture where I killed him, put his head on a turtle, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you know it's Tren de Aragua? Well, he had TDA on his knuckles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And his header on X said, I kill people for fun. Oh. So we thought, we think, is this an admission of guilt? So
close enough.
Someone from the White House said that this is going to be headed to the Supreme Court. We're going to win. Who's right? Okay. Another key fact here, all references available, link in the description. The Alien Enemies Act of 1789 is still relevant and should be applied here. Let me read it for you. It says, whenever there is any invasion or predatory incursion perpetrated, attempted, or threatened against the territory of the United States by any foreign nation or government, and the president makes public proclamation of the event, all natives, citizens, denizens, or subjects of a hostile nation or government being of the age of 14 years and upward, who shall be within the United States and not actually naturalized, shall be liable to be apprehended, restrained, secured, and removed as alien enemies.
Good.
Okay. So I guess the technical argument from the left is, well, yeah, you're a foreign nation. Okay. Well, Maduro's Venezuela, they facilitated TDA gang, to be clear. This doesn't just exist in a vacuum. They're effectively an arm of the government. But transnational gangs like MS-13, they're operating as nations in and of themselves with their own rules, their own codes of conduct, and they're taking advantage, or at least were, of our porous border. It is almost like this Alien Act was designed for this.
Yeah, MS-13 has their own treasurer.
Yeah. Yeah. They also have their own secretary of turtleheads. It's a very weird one, but they're very big on putting heads on turtles.
Job, yeah.
I don't know why they do so
Lots
much
of
of it.
turtles?
Like, you could just intimidate me by being like, I'm going to cut off your head. I don't care what you do with it afterward. Put on a turtle. It makes for a good scene. And
I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, exactly. I guess it'll strike fear in the hearts of other people. Here's a key fact. Number 2. I think we're at number 2. The federal courts, they have no business, no authority to do this, to be clear, right? This was made pretty clear in the U.S. versus Curtis Wright decision here. This comes from, you can bring up this overlay. It says, the president is the sole organ of the federal government in the field of international relations.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the founding fathers intended for one out of around 900 federal judges to be able to unilaterally stop the president from doing his job? Now, if you say, hey, this is a check, right, against the abuse of executive authority, okay, fine. But this check is basically an abuse of executive authority, only it's 1 out of 900 judges.
I don't even think the founding fathers could imagine that there'd be 900 judges.
Well, that's
judges.
probably true.
That's probably true, too.
But also, it's very clear when it comes to foreign policy, the president is the one person that has control of that.
And not to mention, by the way, that this judge did not have any federal authority whatsoever. Like, they didn't have the authority to turn these flights around. They were international waters at the time.
Yeah.
The El Salvador president, Bukele, tweeted,
awesome.
Oopsie, too late.
So, and by the way, remember, we're trying to get rid of the guy from Columbia University. What's his name? The
Mahmoud
judge basically
Khalil.
said we have to keep him here so that I have jurisdiction, which is kind of making the point. They were outside of the United States, no jurisdiction anymore.
Right.
You could argue.
Well, this just comes back. Now, the spirit of it is, why? Why would the left, you look at it in its totality, They're outraged at strikes against Houthi rebels who are killing Americans. They're outraged at trimming back the federal government, for example, the IRS or USA that was corrupt. They're outraged at the idea of deporting violent, felonious criminals who have killed American citizens. At a certain point, you do have to ask, can you show me one issue where you line up on behalf of the American worker, the American taxpayer, not just some small subgroup of women shouting their abortions or trans individuals who want to get sex changes in the military? Can you name me? The truth is you can't. The left has a deep loathing of the United States of America. That's why we are seeing a huge difference right now. That's why we are seeing all-time low approval ratings for the Democrats. And we are seeing all-time optimism high for the United States, because the optimism is based on the idea that, hey, you know what? We should be looking out for ourselves, our neighbors, our fellow American citizens. And we're going to continue with this, by the way. Tim Pool right now, for people who are still watching, I believe we can click that button, join Rumble Premium, keep watching with us, or just keep watching. It's the lineup. Rumble, we own live. Next week, we cancel YouTube completely. In just a second, you're going to go on to watch Tim Pool. He has a great show set up for you today. But right now, before we do, President Trump noticed that some of these executive orders from Biden, right, or some of these last-minute pardons, they may not actually be valid because he used an auto pen. I thought this was some DocuSign, but it's an actual, like, 80s, short circuit robot. It's
a real pen.
Yeah. Here you go.
The man was grossly incompetent. All you have to do is take a look at he signs by auto pen. The man was grossly incompetent. All you have to do is take a look at he signs by auto pen. Who was signing all this stuff by auto pen? Who would think you signed important documents by auto pen? You know, these are major documents. You're signing, you're proud to sign them. You have your signature on something. In 300 years, they say, oh, look, can you imagine? Everything was signed by auto pen, almost everything. Nobody's ever heard of such a thing.
Well, okay, so that's the one he adds it in the left. We have heard of such a thing. This is excessive, but we have heard of such a thing. And I really did. I don't know if I thought auto pen was some sort of DocuSign, like a technical term. No, it's like a Rube Goldberg. It's like the Asian kid in the Goonies. You drop in a rock and a little pen goes around. And then you have slick shoes.
It's like when they put baseball players' autographs on Louisville.
Yes. Do they use auto pens?
No, it's it's an engraver tool, but yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize they had the same. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they would have a pen that did that for, previous technology.
Yeah, but I didn't know they could do it for pardons. Seems like you should know the guy you're pardoning.
It's a fair point.
So actually, for those of you who doubt this, here's actually a clip that's been making the rounds that shows these signatures are completely identical. There's no variance, which of course would be alleged proof that this is an auto pen. Which brings us to the fun part. President Trump posted on Truth. He said, the pardons that Sleepy Joe gave to the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs. I don't think that's an actual committee.
That's probably not.
And many others, too many to name here, are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done, frankly, by auto pen. Therefore, those on the Unselect Committee who destroyed and deleted all evidence obtained during their 2-year witch hunt of me and many other innocent people, but mostly me, should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact is they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without the knowledge or consent
of the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden.
He just can't stop. He can't turn it off. This is who he is to his core.
Yeah. I love how he goes Sleepy Joe on the outset.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'll mix it up. I'll start with Sleepy. I'll end with crooked.
And it also sounds like he feels bad for Biden. Like, you guys are pulling over his eyes.
Yeah.
How could you do this to the worst president?
But it's also, look, the reason this is more concerning in this context is because people, especially after that debate, we knew this for years, but people were wondering, oh my gosh, who's running the country?
Yeah. We said that for a long time.
Yeah.
Then you had guys
Then
like
it's a
Joe
conspiracy
Scarborough
theory
coming
now.
out. Yeah. You had Joe Scarborough coming out, in like March of last year, saying this is the sharpest Joe Biden that I've ever seen. He's on top of his game. And we're all looking around like, are we taking crazy pills or is this guy falling upstairs a lot?
Well, as Jake Tapper said, no, he's always had a stutter.
Ah, that's right. I remember that. And we're making fun of somebody for their disability at this point.
Well, I have family members who have a stutter. They didn't all of a sudden become retarded.
Or racist.
Or president.
Well, he didn't become racist. He's always been pretty racist.
He carried that racist stutter with him for a very long time.
We have the clips.
Yes, we do. President Trump also posted this image showing an auto pen in place of Biden's portrait.
If he hangs that in the White House, I will love him even
So
more.
good.
Please do it. Is that real? Come on, is that a Photoshop or is it real? Let's make it
I'm
real.
sure it's a Photoshop.
Let's make it real. It's accurate.
Can you bring it back up? I just love this guy. Look at that. He's like,
Biden, you remove the bust of Churchill. Say no more.
I love the idea of him replacing like every president's picture with something else.
Yes.
Yes. Garfield is the cat.
Teddy Roosevelt's just a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Nice. So is this going to be going anywhere? Well, probably not.
No.
The courts have pretty much already ruled that pardons do not have to be in writing. Auto pens have been used for quite a while, so it's already been deemed acceptable. But it is funny, and it is a little bit petty.
It is
on behalf of President Trump, but I would say completely warranted.
Strikes fear in the hearts of these guys a little bit, and I kind of like that. It also sparks a conversation. Like, he just keeps throwing stuff out there.
Yeah.
This is one of those things. Don't pay attention to what he says so much as what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to actually try and go after these people, or is he going to use this as leverage, essentially, to get information or to point the finger back and go, remember this? Remember what Joe Biden did? He pardoned all these people that would have probably been in some trouble to some degree or another. His family, obviously, right? Fauci obviously had some questions to answer. We won't get those answers now. His son, obviously.
Yeah.
The committee, did you guys delete it? Did you do a fair presentation to the American people? Because we know you didn't.
Mm-hmm. I'm also wondering if we're going to get those Epstein files. So that's what's on.
I don't know that we ever will.
What
That was the Epstein files.
Show me something. That's what happened to him.
Fell out of Noodle's pocket.
What happened?
It was 3 inches from
that
Pam
sounded
Bondi's
heavy,
hand and
which means it's expensive.
It's fine.
I can expect an expense report tomorrow.
No,
Lisa.
don't worry about that.
What is CNN right now? They're talking about this. They will never talk about the victories. They'll only talk about the petty disagreements. So right now they're talking about a White House.
We denied the
White House denial of the judge ordering them to. What even? They didn't deny them. They said the judge was wrong. Let's see what they're saying here.
Been a really bad idea to bring these planes back, but that misses the point.
No,
the
it doesn't.
Point is,
that is the point.
That's what the judge ordered. You don't get to decide whether you think it's a good or bad idea.
Yes, you do.
The second point
Well,
is
the judge doesn't
they
get to decide if
certainly
the
could
president's
have
executive
decided
authority
to
can be
tell those
used.
places.
Not one lone judge.
The judge is on one phone, the president is on the other. Who you listening to?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, yes, this law was specifically designed. And by the way, you may not like the law. It's still on the books. It was used in other cases. This law was specifically designed so the president could do it immediately, not after a lot of consultation, not over time, immediately. You're missing the entire point of the law. You don't like that? That's fine. Change the law. Maybe make a proposal to get rid of the 1798 or whatever it is law, 1789. That's stupid. And he's like, and of course it would have been a bad idea to bring the planes back, but that's not the point.
That's the exact
This
point.
judge can override a clear law that the president is following.
Yeah.
You get a zoom out of that guy to see what gang members are holding him at gunpoint.
Yes, exactly.
Like, why are you defending these people? These people are monsters, animals.
Yes, it's everything that we just talked about. They cannot praise Donald Trump for doing something right. They absolutely have to find why he did something wrong here.
Right. It's just like you said, they're in the 20% and they have to defend it. Oh, today a hearing at 5 p.m. on Alien Enemies. The act. I also find it funny when they're now talking about how Donald Trump is just disregarding the courts. This is a perfect example of a dictatorship. Hold on a second. You had Biden, who said that he knew that the Supreme Court would be striking down student loan forgiveness, that he knew that the rent forgiveness was unconstitutional, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids raised in a racial jungle.
What'd you just say?
His name is Hard R. Biden.
I said the N-word in front of Clarence Thomas. And I do it again, you sucker.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Yeah.
Hard R. Biden. I told you.
What are you going to do, Roots?
What are they going to go after next? 1785. I mean, that's when we started, we had just built our Constitution.
I know.
We just started building our Constitution a decade earlier. Now you want to go after what else is next?
Yeah.
That's what makes me, that's what I think. Like, is the Second Amendment next?
Whenever the left claims
constitutional rights?
Constitutionality, they're lying to you.
Yes.
You really do.
We have a constitutional crisis. You said that when Elon Musk was recommending cuts in U.S. aid.
Yeah.
To NGOs, and we all know why that's happening. But they cannot get out of their own way. You talked about this with the egg prices. We're not going to see anybody come out and do anything positive on the egg prices. We're not. If we go and destroy the Houthis' ability to be able to target our own military service members in the Navy, our naval ships, plus the cargo ships. I mean, I care about both, but I care more about our Navy.
Sure.
Right, being out there. You're not going to see a single person out there. Trump risks war, broadening conflict with Iran. Or you're going to have morons on X go out there and say, oh, he's doing it for Netanyahu. Shut up and sit down.
You know what's worse is that I guarantee you Waffle House does not get rid of their egg surcharge.
Nope.
That's
I guarantee
true.
you
Everybody that put it in place.
Maybe self-correcting because there'll be a few fist fights. And they'll be like, all right.
The fights at Waffle House are never between patrons. It's always patrons versus staff.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
I love
enough of this.
It's the only place where they have standard issue brass knuckles next to the register.
Here's your frying pan.
Yeah.
Your spatula, and here's your brass knuckles. Because after 11 p.m., it's all
Yeah.
Well, actually, you have a choice: brass knuckles or 2x4 with a nail in it. Might we suggest? This one's fun. What do you keep looking at over there? Is there something that...
there was just a couple of notes they were passing me. One of them is that they want to piss you off.
Oh, no.
Yes, do it.
Conor McGregor at the White House. They thought there was an interesting clip for you to respond to.
Oh, boy. Look, I mean...
Hold, just wait and see what he has to say.
All right.
The man's running for office.
Here we go.
I'm here to raise the issues the people of Ireland face, and it'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. Our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. Our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country.
Yeah.
There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed. And the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit.
I don't know why that was going to piss me off.
I thought it was supposed to.
Just because he's there. I mean, I don't think that it's a great idea to have him there, considering...
Probably not.
And again, I know that he leans more right, but the guy has a lot of baggage, and he actually did commit some of the crimes.
Right.
That's the issue. I mean, people can change. Hey, maybe he's different than the guy who punched an old man at a bar because he didn't want to drink his whiskey a few years ago, or...
Conor McGregor's whiskey?
Yeah, or also, injured fighters when he attacked a bus and threw a chair through the glass window so that fighters had to miss their entire night, and how they make income for their family. He's again, maybe it's a good idea to have a middling fighter who's now taking advantage of a populist movement in Ireland, even though people there have rejected him and don't really like him and want him as a representative. I don't know. But I like what he said there. I just don't think he's the best ambassador.
Yeah, okay.
Gyllenhaal kicking his ass in Roadhouse really turned him around.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
That'll humble anyone.
Yeah, you get drop kicked by Donnie Darko, you start seeing things in perspective.
Life changes.
So, I don't know. We can talk about it. I mean, there's always a concern of people realizing, especially when you look at people who are opportunists. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being an opportunist if you're doing so consistently and authentically. But all of a sudden, jumping on something when some other opportunities have closed. And it's like, oh, I'm sensing a populist movement. Let me jump in now and act like I've always represented this and I've always cared. I think we've sort of seen what has happened in the past. You've seen it with Kanye. You've seen it with Johnny Come Latelys to the conservative movement. You have to be careful. These people need to earn their stripes. And did he just show up? Because it looked like Levitt was trying to get back to the podium.
It looked like Rogan trying to get the mic back,
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Who's going to remove Conor McGregor from the White House podium?
Yeah, she looked like she was trying to get back. Look, I'll give it back to you, but I'm cooked out of my mind.
Yeah. Nobody's restraining him. They're just going to have to shoot him. It's like, well, you invite the guy in. If he doesn't want to leave, there's only one option.
Well, or you get a middleweight. The guy walks around at 150.
Somebody over 6 foot.
Yeah, exactly.
He walks around at 150.
Well, he fought at 145 for a long time,
wow.
and then 155, and whenever he moved up to 170, he'd get smoked.
Ooh.
So he's not a very big man.
Never
That's
mind.
why he walks out with that fictitious lat spread. You know?
St. Patty's Day, just climbing out of the nearest pot of gold.
Yes. Oh, I forgot it's St.
Right.
Patrick's Day. I completely.
look
that's
at
why
that.
everyone's wearing green.
Well, that's
on
why I'm wearing
CNN.
this shirt right now.
you're going to
Still
get pinched.
available at
Yeah.
crowdershop.com. Make sure you go there. You can just hang on to it for next year or wear it whenever. It's always fun when Notre Dame is playing, when Donald Trump is winning.
Are there any other notes as far as what was going on here while I was talking?
Nope.
No. Okay.
No, I mean, we did have another, like a couple of funny things to react to, but no notes to
well, what is it?
All right,
I like
so
funny things to react to.
This was put out by the
No,
White
that's-
House account.
yes.
So this is one of the things that I like about this. It's not just Donald Trump doing some of this trolling.
Mhm.
It's some of the other people associated, and especially the White House account as well, which maybe people don't like, but I do.
Yeah,
and so this is funny. You'll love it.
It's a short clip, but the tweet reads, "You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here."
With musical notes.
Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
This is a good job. This is a good job of trolling. Because they know they're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
For some reason, I was just picturing that one of those immigrants would look like Bob Seger, and I have no idea why. It would just be funny to see Bob Seger being deported. And I like Bob Seger. That's not healthy that I think
That's
that way.
just- yeah,
All right.
okay.
Okay. I like that. Well, is there one other thing to react to? Is that what you're
That's
saying?
a Houthi thing. Huh?
Oh, no. Okay. Then we'll
Jackson
take some
Hinkle,
chats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, do you
I hate
want it
that
or no?
guy.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The American people, however, stand.
This is him giving this conference to Houthi people, I believe, or Yemeni people.
It's a Houthi conference.
Houthi conference. Unbelievable.
Is this after the pancake luncheon?
Yes. This is after raping sheep and goats for an hour, and then they come in for this.
I don't understand. What is he saying? What are you standing with?
Jackson Hinkle will stand with anybody who's against America. I can't remember.
These are terrorist rebels.
Yes. Did I say Jackson Hinkle loud enough?
I don't know. I guess I thought he would be clever enough
No.
to disguise it.
He
Like,
does
I don't
not.
support terrorism, but.
He is one of the worst.
You know, like when an actual racist says, I'm not racist,
Yes.
but you'd think he'd do that with terrorists.
I am not kidding. 100% if he lives in the United States, I don't know that he does. Deport the hell out of him to somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't even care. This is one of those things where it's like, all right, you're giving aid to terrorists. We're actually literally bombing Houthis right now, and you were speaking at their conference.
Yes,
okay.
send him to Yemen.
These are the same people who say that simply trying to get a ceasefire
Guantanamo Bay. There we
is siding with Putin,
Yeah.
is treason. This guy is actively supporting, in no uncertain terms, Houthi rebels.
And he
Deport him.
shills for China and other places around the world too, other Middle Eastern countries as well. And I understand if you don't like that necessarily, but this is a different level.
Yes,
We're literally classifying these people as terrorists. Guys, tell me if I'm 100%. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think.
Oh, that admonish button was at the ready.
I know it really was. Tim was like, huh?
Yep.
Right. So the Houthis, they're a terrorist organization, right? Have we classified them officially from the U.S. government as a terrorist organization?
I've got to imagine that. At
I
this
would
point
imagine
we have.
that
What
has
does it
to.
take?
I believe so.
Right?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I don't want to speak in absolutes.
It's a
because then I
pretty-
get an admonish.
It's a pretty elite club, but they
no, Tim. It was iPod. Admonish.
Are they not?
No,
No,
I
he
misspoke.
didn't pronounce admonish correctly.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair.
All right. Survey says.
Hold on,
yes.
look, it's Lori Lightfoot.
yes.
It's Lori Lightfoot Macchio. He's on
What?
CNN again. Yeah, it's Lori Lightfoot Macchio guy. They just cut away from him. What are they doing?
They just
gross.
showed all the backs of everybody's heads.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
good. Thanks.
Someone pinched that. But you know, she's not wearing green on purpose. She's like, I hope no one pinches me. It's been a while.
I don't like those mix.
I don't know how I'd handle it. I'd probably make it. I'd probably draw it out. And it pinch me. You notice I'm not wearing green.
Manu Raju.
I'm lonely. She seems gross.
Roan.
So they are a terrorist group.
They are.
I'm
Official.
verifying something real quick because
Oh,
I don't want to
geez.
speak out of turn.
Are you verifying something unrelated to that?
Or-
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Like your lunch order? What are we doing here?
So in 2021, Trump initially classified them, and then I was verifying that Biden had declassified them because now they are once again classified as of March 4th.
Wait. The Biden administration declassified the Houthis as terrorists as they were attacking our ships?
I'm verifying that because
What?
this says it took place March 4th. No, Lane says no. So, but I saw something from
All right.
2021. That's why I wanted to check.
That'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that surprising.
Yeah. Thanks, Lane.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I trust Noodles, but not like that much.
You shouldn't.
Let's grab some chats. You guys carry this because if I don't go pee-pee, you're going to hear a loud pop.
TT?
No, I
TT or PP?
Update, Matt was correct.
Huh? Noodles?
They did declassify them before the attacks, though. That's
before all the attacks? Oh, okay.
But then they didn't bother to reclassify them as.
No, they didn't.
Also, Matt was incorrect to refer to himself in the third person, so admonish him as I go to the restroom.
He also used the wrong name, so there's that.
That's fair.
All right, go ahead and take some chats. If I don't,
All right, let's do it.
come back, it means I'm having a good one.
How good?
All right.
All right.
I think that means I have to go help him.
Jimmy Dugan good or what? Nobody? Oh, look at their own. Okay, fine.
That is a good one. Sound
Tom
effect?
Hanks.
Yeah. There you go.
No respect.
All right. First chat from Rumble Foreskin.
Ugh.
Why isn't Biden blamed for higher prices if Harris campaigned on stopping price gouging?
I think Biden was blamed for higher prices, right? We did a very good job of highlighting the fact that under Joseph Biden.
Right, but I think they're saying why is everyone blaming Trump for the high prices right
look,
now?
I'm not surprised by that. I mean, obviously, I understand that prices don't go down immediately when you come into office or don't move immediately based on what you do on day one and day two. I mean, you can have some impact, obviously, on the trajectory of prices, on confidence, on some of the other things that maybe contribute to higher prices. But people
are green on, and they're celebrating early in the White House. So Caroline Leavitt, you can see draped in green, brought out Conor McGregor. You know him as UFC champion, MMA fighter. And he may be back out later today for the press briefing, but they gave us a little bit of a preview. Here's what it sounds like.
There's no hotels in it. They're all taken over. They're all trafficking groups.
Yeah.
America needs to hear.
Yeah.
America needs to hear.
Definitely.
Hey, Connor.
Oh. Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Connor, first of all, did you get into time with President Trump? And also, I know there's some Irish immigrants in the U.S. without status. What do you think should happen to them?
The Irish immigrants?
There's some recent Irish immigrants without status.
Are we taking questions?
Deport them is what they want him to say. What do you think about the Irish immigrants? I don't know. Did they go to El Salvador too?
Ireland and America, we are siblings. We consider America our big sibling. So it's important for Ireland to have be a peaceful, happy, prosperous country for the 40 million Irish Americans to have a place to visit, to come back to their home. So we wish for our relationship with the United States to continue, and we wish to be taken care of by the big bro. You know, the United States should look after its little bro, and that's how we feel.
How about the trade? What about, there's some trade disputes between the U.S. and the EU, and how do you think?
We wish exemption.
We actually have some stuff that we
I
have
will
to
say,
do right now.
Connor is here to meet with the president. He'll be meeting with him later this afternoon. We couldn't think of a better guest to have with us on St. Patrick's Day. We're both wearing our green. This was not planned, but very festive. And as you know, I'll be having a briefing later at 1:00. So we'll talk more about their meeting later. But he's going over to meet with some other administration officials. He's spending the day in Washington, D.C.
For sure.
So
I'm here to
it'll be
raise
fun.
the issues the people of Ireland face. You know, and it'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. You know, our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed. And the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit.
Okay, very interesting thing that happened there. It sounds like Caroline Leavitt was trying to get him out of there. Okay, so Connor shows up behind the podium. He's like, I'm ready for questions. He's got both hands on both sides of the podium. I'm ready to go. The question, of course, is he running for office? Is he going to run for something in Ireland? Very curious. Very curious. So, Caroline, I'll do the press briefing later, okay? You can ask him questions. That one reporter was obviously trying to create that wedge, saying can you comment on Irish immigrants? Because Trump is deporting them too, or, whatever, and wanting to draw a wedge. So, you're going to go meet with Trump? Well, he's deporting a bunch of people. That includes the Irish, maybe, I don't know. And I don't know if that's a problem. We have a bunch of illegal Irish coming across the border. I don't know who need to be deported. Maybe or maybe not. A bunch of criminals who are overstaying their visas from Ireland. I don't know. But the point is, she wants to come back and have another conversation about it later. Reporter wants to drive a wedge between him and Trump. And he sounds like he's running for something and taking questions. So very curious there. And we'll see what that looks like later. Now, meanwhile, we know our friend Dan Bongino is now at the FBI, officially sworn in as deputy director today, March 17th. Signed here by Congressman Troy Neal. So congratulations to Dan Bongino. Now we're looking forward to some real action. Cash and Bongino make the perfect team, says the winning continues. So we'll be looking forward to immediate actions from Dan, Cash, and Pam. And maybe that's what they just needed, to get really things going. They're like, well, we should just wait for Dan to get here. Shouldn't we wait for Dan, says Cash? They've got all these Epstein files. They've got all the RFK, JFK files. They've got, everything that happened on January 6th is all ready to go. They're just waiting for Dan. So, all right. So Dan will just publish. He'll press publish, and then hopefully we get the documents. All right. Now, meanwhile, Marco Rubio was commenting with Margaret, I think was her name, and she was asking him about that other person who's being deported, Khalil, who came over, became a permanent resident, and then brought with him his foreign conflict to try to smear it in the faces of everybody in America. We've got our own problems here. We don't need to import people from anywhere in the world who are going to cause more problems inside of America. That's the point. When you come to America, you should be providing value to the country, not coming here and litigating your conflicts. And again, I don't care what conflict it is. I don't care who comes here. If you jaywalk and you're not a citizen yet, if you look across the street wrong, you're on high alert. We've got an immigration problem here. So to come here, cause a bunch of problems, and then claim that you're entitled to all the protections and all the privileges of America as you're here trying to undermine American sanctity, not welcome. Thanks, though. Here is what Rubio said about that.
I want to ask you about a decision you made to revoke a student visa for someone at Columbia University this past week. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writes, the administration needs to be careful. It's targeting real promoters of terrorism, not breaking the great promise of a green card by deporting anyone with controversial political views. Can you substantiate any form of material support for terrorism, specifically to Hamas, from this Columbia student? Or was it simply that he was espousing a controversial political point of view?
Okay, so that's not the standard. Okay, that's her standard. Like, you can only revoke visas if they're offering material support for Hamas. Like, what? That's the standard? Oh, well, I guess we didn't meet that standard, Margaret. So I guess we can't do anything that you want. Let's see what Rubio says.
Well, not just the student. We're going to do more. In fact, we every day now we're approving visa revocations. And if that visa led to a green card, the green card process as well. And here's why. It's very simple. When you apply to enter the United States and you get a visa, you are a guest. And you're coming as a student, you're coming as a tourist or what have you. And in it, you have to make certain assertions. And if you tell us when you apply for a visa, I'm coming to the U.S. to participate in pro-Hamas events, that runs counter to the foreign policy interest of the United States of America. It's that simple. So
any protest, it doesn't matter what it is. If you come and you're like, my job is to come to America and to protest. We don't want your opinion. We don't want your foreign opinion to come in here and exercise your free speech in American domestic policies. Go to your home country and you can protest and litigate it there. Use your free speech over there. Our free speech is for American interests, not so you can send your foreigners into our country and have them use our free speech to promote your foreign interests using our system.
Oh, you lied. You came. If you had told us that you were going to do that, we never would have given you the visa. Now you're here. Now you do it. So you lied to us. Yep. You're out. It's that simple.
But
it's
is there any?
Yeah, and it's just like a house guest. You invite somebody over for dinner and they start talking crap about your food or causing a conflict between you and everybody else at the dinner table, they're not invited back and you throw them out.
But is there any evidence of a link to terrorism, or is it just his point of view?
Yeah, they take over. I mean, you should watch the news. These guys take over entire buildings.
We
They
covered
vandalize
it
colleges.
intensely.
They shut down
I'm
colleges.
asking about the
Well, then you should
specific
know that this
justification
is-
for the revocation of his visa.
Well,
Was
this
there any
specific
evidence of
individual
material
was the
support for
spokesperson,
terrorism?
was the negotiator negotiating on behalf of people that took over a campus, that vandalized buildings? Negotiating over what? That's a crime in and of itself.
Right.
That they're involved in being the negotiator, the spokesperson, this, that, the other. We don't want it. We don't need these people in our country. We never should have allowed them in the first place.
We don't need them.
If he had told us, I'm going over there and I'm going over there to become the spokesperson and one of the leaders of a movement that's going to turn one of your allegedly elite colleges upside down. People can't even go to school.
Right.
Library buildings being vandalized. We never would have let him in.
Get out.
We never would have let him in to begin with. And now that he's doing it and he's here, he's going to leave, and so are others, and we're going to keep doing it. And by the way, I find it ironic that a lot of these people out there defending the First Amendment speech, alleged free speech rights of these Hamas sympathizers, they had no problem, pressuring social media to censor American political speech.
Right.
So I think it's ironic and hypocritical. But the bottom line is
they still
this.
do it. They still are. Okay, all of these people, at these like colleges, you're like, well, it's our free speech rights and all that stuff. What are you talking about? You tried to censor everybody back during COVID. You still say that Elon is a purveyor of disinformation. So don't suddenly emerge and come out like you're free speech absolutists or something, even for foreigners who should come into America to exploit our free speech laws for their foreign interests. What on earth is that?
If you are in this country to promote Hamas, to promote terrorist organizations, to participate in vandalism, to participate in acts of rebellion and riots on campus, we never would have let you in if we had known that. And now that we know it,
Is it only
you're gonna leave.
pro-Palestinian people who are going to have their visas revoked, or are other points of view as well?
No, I think anybody who's here in favor. Look, we want to get rid of Tren de Agua gang members. They're terrorists too. The president designated them, asked me to designate, and I did, as a terrorist organization. We want to get rid of them as well. We don't want terrorists in America. I don't know how hard that is to understand.
Hard for her.
We don't want people in our country that are going to be committing crimes and undermining our national security or the public safety. It's that simple. Especially people that are here as guests. That is what a visa